I've been thinking about this question a lot lately. Do we, as small backyard suburban gardeners, really need to rotate our crops? I can see the point for doing it under certain circumstances, but my opinion right off the bat is no. And I'm going to explain why right here. Okay, so before we get into why my opinion on this is no, let's do a little bit of history on crop rotation, because just like with gardening, this topic goes back centuries. So I'm putting up on the screen right here, all I did was Google history of crop rotation, and bam, here we go. All the way back to 6000 BC, so that's 8,000 plus years ago from today. There was record of crop rotation. The Romans, China, Greece, all did it. Now jump ahead to the medieval times, and the crop rotation idea took on a whole different type of systems. You had the 3-field system, which is you're reading right there. One field is planted in autumn, one in spring, and one is left just to basically go native. And then they would rotate, okay? Or you had the Norfolk four-course system. Developed in the 17th century. As you can see right there, they would rotate different crops and allowing one field to have animals on them. Obviously, the manure would help fertilize the ground. We jump to today, and primarily, I believe, crop rotation is used for farmers. I was a little boy. I don't remember how young I was, but I remember going with my grandfather when we lived in Kentucky to a friend of his place, and they were growing bell peppers, and I spent a day picking bell peppers and had an absolute blast. It was fun. Tons and tons of room, a lot of rows, and I was a little kid with my grandfather. We're out picking bell peppers. It was a blast. But I remember him specifically asking his friend, "Hey, didn't you have your pepper plants? Didn't you have your pepper fields over there?" And I remember the man saying yes, but they rotated. Of course, I was, I think, 7 or 8. I might have been younger than that. I didn't know what any of that meant, but it stuck in my head. And when I started learning more about gardening and crop rotation, that has always popped back into my head. We were sitting in that truck. I can remember everything. The smell, just everything, you know. Okay, so let's talk about some of the benefits of crop rotation. Okay, I'm putting them up on the screen right here. Soil health. Rotating your crops will improve soil structure, reduce erosion, and enhances nutrient cycling. Okay, totally understand that. Pest and disease control. Different plants disrupt the life cycles of certain pests and diseases, reducing the need for chemical treatments. Totally understand that one. Biodiversity. Crop rotation promotes a wider variety of plants and soil organisms, enhancing biodiversity and resilience. Totally understand that. Yield improvement. By improving soil health and managing pest and disease pressure, crop rotation can lead to increased yields. That totally makes sense also. And then the final one, reduce chemical inputs. Crop rotation can minimize the need for fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides. I totally agree with literally all 5 of those. Now, here's where I feel, as a backyard gardener, we don't need to crop rotate. And let me explain. So follow with me here. You're in your backyard. You're in your garden. And unless you are a farmer, you are a gardener, right? We are not, for the most part, people watching this channel, or if you're just looking to get into gardening, more than likely, you're not a farmer. You don't own hundreds of acres of land and you make your living off of growing crops, right? I don't. I grow everything that I want to grow in this little backyard that I'm showing behind me. But I am not growing food solely for the purpose of providing, one, complete sustenance for myself and my family and my friends or my neighbors. And I'm not making a living on selling what I grow. Hence, I am a gardener, not a farmer. There's a big difference there. As a gardener, we are probably, more than likely, growing what you can grow for yourself, right? Your immediate family, maybe, you know, your grandparents, your parents, close neighbor, friends, but for the most part, we're growing food, crops, for what we are going to eat in our homes, in our kitchens, to feed our families. That makes us gardeners, not farmers. I'm beating this horse to death for a reason. Crop rotation, in my opinion, is strictly for farmers. If you make a living on growing corn and your neighbor makes a living on growing beans, those are two totally different plants. They will require different nutrients in the soils. So it all makes sense that, hey, you get with your neighbor, one year you plant this in this field and next year this field, and we rotate and then get another neighbor in, and you just create this rotation so you're constantly helping each other's crops and each other's soils, because you're not depleting and depleting and depleting the same nutrients from the same field year after year after year. Totally makes sense. All 5 of those benefits make sense in that realm. Now, we're talking about a backyard gardening, right? Backyard gardens. Do we really need to rotate all of our crops and constantly remember where everything was, and, oh, I can't have it here because, you know, this crop took this? No, y'all, no. We have backyard gardens. We are not farmers. So here's how you can get around, and this is how I've gotten around having to do this crop rotation craziness, having just a little backyard garden. Now, I will say this: if anyone disagrees with anything I'm saying and we want to have a discussion, please drop your opinions, your comments down in the description below. I want to talk. Let's open this up to everybody on their opinions on this topic. But let me get into how I get around having to do crop rotation. And it's really simple. It's a 5-letter word that begins with A. I always tell everyone that I do this twice a year, if not 3 times a year, with all of my beds. Amend. Amend your beds. Constantly amend your beds. Twice a year, I bring in fresh compost, organic compost, and I fill up my beds. I also bring in organic garden soils and do the same thing. So I am constantly amending my beds. Now, why do you want to amend your beds? Obviously, you want to replenish nutrients, right? But you also want to fill in when your soils shrink, because if you have organic that's upsetting. If you have organic soils, as those organics break down, your soil levels are going to shrink. So you have to replenish and replenish. I just amend everything. That will always put more nutrients back into all your beds. So you don't need to crop rotate, y'all. I will say this: if you have a pest problem that targets one specific crop, I would rotate them out if you can't get rid of that pest. I would move whatever that crop is from one side of your garden to another, and maybe that will help get rid of that pest. Research whatever that pest is, and then wherever you have the pest problem, plant a plant or a group of plants that will attract predators to take care of that pest. And in the meantime, you've moved your crop to another section of the garden. That is the one reason I would rotate crops. But for amending, no. Now let's go back through that again real quick. Soil health. Well, you're amending. You're adding nutrients, so you're helping your soil. Pest and disease control. Just explain that one. Biodiversity. If you're a backyard gardener, I can guarantee you are not only growing one crop. You already have biodiversity in your backyard garden. Guarantee it. Nobody watching this channel right here, watching this video right here, is only growing one thing. There's no way I would believe that. So we already have the biodiversity. Well, as you constantly amend and you are adding nutrients into your beds, your yields are going to go up because those plants are getting fresh, good nutrients along with the older age nutrients that's down below in your beds. And then reducing chemical inputs. Well, if you companion plant and you help your garden by companion planting, one, you're not going to be using very many chemicals at all, if any. I use zero. I don't use neem oil anymore. I don't use BT or any of those other ones, which isn't a bad. BT's not bad. Neem oil's not bad either, but you want to make sure you use neem oil the right way. Early mornings, late evenings. That way the pollinators don't get killed if they get that neem oil on them. So, but I don't use any chemical stuff. So by amending, you don't need to crop rotate, and you still get all the benefits of crop rotation if you just amend. This is my opinion, strictly my opinion, but my opinion is based on the 5 years that I've been gardening and the 4 years of me being very, very, very adamant about amending all of my beds at least twice a year, without exception. And I've had no issues. Now, I will give a few examples real quick. Okay, so this bed right here, as you can see, I'm growing corn in it this year. The last 2 years, this has been a sweet potato bed. But this year, I decided I wanted to move my sweet potatoes because of the sun. This bed right here, I couldn't figure anything out to plant in this bed because this bed gets so hot because there's no shade. So the evening sun comes right through here and just bakes that bed to death. July, August, September, this bed is just, I've never been able to really grow anything in it. Sweet potatoes love the heat. In fact, they can't get enough heat. So I moved the sweet potatoes to this bed so I could actually have something in this bed. And I decided to put the corn that I wanted to grow this year in that bed. Did I rotate crops? I guess technically you could say I did, but I only did it because of sun patterns and heat. Had nothing to do with soil nutrition or pests or bugs or any of the other stuff. Strictly the heat. So if you're going to rotate crops, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think us as backyard gardeners need to, as long as you amend your beds at least twice a year. Now, if you decide to not rotate your crops, like I've done right here with this crop, I have grown Rampincati zucchinis in this section of this bed for the last 3 years. The first year, I didn't have that arch up there yet. So I had a whole bunch of, what do you call them? Tomato cages and stuff, and I had the Rampincati zucchinis going up there. I also had these zucchinis over along that fence line. But this will be the 3rd year that I've had them in that bed. As you can see, they're already putting on zucchinis. So what are you getting at, Chad? If you amend and you amend and you amend and you take care of your beds, you make sure that your soil health is healthy and viable for your plants, you don't need to rotate your crops. That's what I'm saying. These will always be in this spot because I love the arch right here. And when they're hanging, when the fruit's hanging down off the arch like it was last year, tell me that just isn't awesome to see. So I will always have zucchini there, but I always amend and amend and amend and amend. That is important. I can't stress that one enough. You have to amend a lot, at least twice a year. And then you're not going to have to worry about rotations. You're not going to have to worry about, well, man, I can't remember what I had in this bed. I don't know what was in that bed. I think it was this, but you can't have this with that. And if you had that there, then we got to move this to this and this there. And y'all, like, no. No. You are not going to have to worry about rotating your crops. I don't think ever, unless you have a really bad pest issue. And if you have a pest issue, then you need to address that pest issue. But that's the only way, honestly, I can think of that I would need to rotate a crop. I only did the sweet potatoes just strictly for the sun and to have something in that bed down there because I just couldn't get anything to grow in. So that's my opinion on the crop rotation theory. But my theory is strictly for small suburban backyard gardens. Not even suburban, small backyard garden. So if y'all enjoyed this video, if you got anything at it, if I maybe stirred something and you want to drop some comments, please do. But also do me the 3 favors: share, like, subscribe to this channel if you've not done so already. If you're a beginner gardener looking for a beginner gardener channel, you have found it. Click the subscribe button, hit that bell so you're always notified whenever I upload videos, and join this fast growing community of like-minded gardeners here on YouTube. Everyone take care. May God bless you. Continue to shine bright, harvest hard. Get in your gardens and really think about this topic. Do you really need to worry about rotating your crops? That's the question for you. And I'll talk to y'all again real soon. Bye.